friends, welcome back to my channel, and for today's true crime tarot video, we are going to be diving into the case of the 4 student murders that happened in Idaho with suspect Bryan Kohberger. And the reason that we are diving back into this case is because Dateline NBC just recently released a new episode that had so much bombshell evidence that we had not really heard before. There's been a gag order placed on this, so we are all kind of shocked that all this information got released. However, it did. And the reason that we are diving back into it is not only because of that, but because my first reading I did of this case 5 months ago has basically been proven correct by a lot of this new evidence that has come out. So if you haven't watched that video first, I definitely recommend watching that one. I'll put it in the description before you watch this one. I just want to give a few examples of some of the things that I predicted correctly. So I'm going to pull a card for Bryan. I'm going to pull a card for the murders and the energy between them. Okay. Bryan Kohberger and the murders. Let's see this one here. Okay, energy between them. The Chariot. This is like the 3 of Cups. This indicates a celebration. There are some forums or some things that he has seen online or been a part of or been reading about, and it's almost given him some inspiration or some kind of drive or something like that. And I feel that he is feeling really accomplished. I think he maybe got some inspiration from something or had an idea from something, and now he can almost go back to that thought, that idea, and celebrate with it.
So 2 days later, he's Googling University of Idaho murders. November 18th, he views Ted Bundy's The Perfect Killing Machine. He was watching Unsolved No More. Detective Ken Maines, right? And he's got an entire playlist of Ted Bundy episodes. So he was actually watching Ted Bundy, the essence of a psychopath. So he definitely did like watching Ted Bundy related content. You see the picture, the top left picture? That would be from the video he watched. And then they said right after that, he took these selfies where they think he's trying to look like that.
This card is representative of the murders themselves. So I think some of them may have had the opportunity to fight back. I do think that there was some type of defense, some type of fighting back, just really trying to do what they could to be okay.
Is that Xana Kernodle put up a fierce fight when the attacker set upon her, repeatedly grabbing the attacker's knife, so much so that she sustained deep cuts to her fingers and that her fingers were nearly severed.
Now, Kaylee's dad has recently shared that she was punched in the face, that the killer punched her so hard that they broke her nose, and that the punches to the face could have already been enough to kill her. So
okay, so now that that's out of the way, if you want to know more things that I predicted, just go watch the video. Let's go ahead and talk about today's video. So I'm going to be taking a look at how is Bryan Kohberger feeling now? What is the defense mindset now? Back then in my last video, he was feeling pretty confident. They had some tricks they were going to pull out of their sleeves, which I'm assuming now is the whole autism diagnosis. And then next, I am also going to be bringing out my pendulum for this one because I want some more some yes no answers. So we will be doing that at the end. First we'll dive in with the tarot, then we'll do the pendulum, and yeah, so with that being said, let's just go ahead and dive right into it. I want to take a look at how is Bryan Kohberger, I'm going to look at him specifically. How is he feeling now, especially now that all this new information got leaked? Does he still feel as confident as he once did? What is going on in his brain? We're going to start out with 3 cards. First, we have the King of Swords. Then we have the 7 of Pentacles. And let's see what's next, and then we'll go from there. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the first thing that we're starting with being the King of Swords, this one is representative of him, okay? So the King of Swords, this indicates a strong sense of self, a strong sense of direction and truth and clarity. So he feels fine. He is so strategic in his thought process. He's so strategic in everything it is that he does that he still feels confident, sure of himself, and articulate in what he is going to present out into the world. I feel like he feels very confident about what he, just how he's coming off, how he's portraying himself, his expression. And then here in the Seven of Pentacles being in reverse, this talks about a long-term view and finally being able to see it come to life, see, like enjoy the fruits of your labor, right? And so in this instance, this is going to be kind of sick, okay? I think he likes that this information got out. I think he has been waiting. He has been waiting for this to come out. He's finally getting the attention that he's wanted. He's finally being recognized as potentially on the same level as Ted Bundy. We will take a look at that connection there, if there's a connection there later. There's a lot of speculation, and I kind of think there is a connection. It came up in my last reading. I talked about that a minute ago. I'm not going to talk about it again. Anyways, so I really feel like he is like, all right, I was waiting for this to come out. It's coming out, and like, here it is. And the reason I get that sense of enjoyment, fulfillment, not only is this finally enjoying the fruits of your labor, so like seeing what's happening from all of his hard work of committing those horrific crimes, is next we have the Ten of Pentacles. This is like feeling abundant. It's feeling in alignment with where you're supposed to be, in harmony with what he probably feels his true path is. And I really feel like he's had this sick, twisted desire to be this kind of person. He has felt inferior before, and now through these actions, now with how everything's lining up, with how on the fence some people are, the divide that people have between no, he's innocent, no, he's guilty, because this evidence could all be so circumstantial. He is really happy about that, but he's also happy that he is getting kind of like, not that he's getting away with it, but that there is this much unsureness, this much confusion. This was his goal. I really feel like he wanted to see how good he could get away with something like this, how good he could be at keeping it a mystery. And it's such weird like similarities with Ted Bundy, I feel like, because, you know, there were a lot of people that sorry, those ashes from my Palo Santo. There's a lot of people that saw him in this like interestingly inspiring way. I think they were even saying, even Bryan Kohberger's mom was like writing letters saying like, don't give him the death penalty to Ted Bundy. So that's just kind of a weird correlation there. Anyways, enough about that. So I really feel like he's enjoying this. Okay, that was unexpected. I honestly thought he was gonna be like upset, but now that I said it, now that I read it, like I guess it's not that unexpected. So now the next thing we're going to be taking a look at is what is his defense team? What are they thinking? It's got to be different from Bryan. Here we have the Page of Wands. Okay, so this talks about opportunity and potential. So I think they are just, they already have something in their belt or something they're already trying to arguing. They're like, no, there's enough potential with this. Like, this is annoying, but we actually like don't have to worry about this that much. Okay, so here we have the Ten of Swords in reverse. This is like the releasing of something. The Justice card in reverse usually means there's an injustice or an imbalance. Something didn't quite work out the way that it was supposed to, or like, okay, let me back up. So with the Page of Wands over here first, I'm really feeling like they have enough under their, what am I trying to say? Like enough material, enough resources, enough things to kind of back up to say that like, no, like this is at this point like just judgment on his character, and that doesn't hold up in court. These are all so many like outside things that we can just say is something else, like no. So I feel like they're going to shut that down and kind of like, I don't know, push it away, because they're really holding on to the fact that, well, a lot of these weird actions have to do with his mental diagnoses, or a lot of the like stuff he looked up had to do with his career or whatever that is. So that's what I'm getting here with the Justice card in reverse. I feel like this just means that they are trying to they're gonna try and just say that this isn't like, it doesn't hold up. It doesn't hold up in court. Why are we wasting our time with this? So they see the potential with that. So I really actually don't think this is a huge problem for them. It's probably annoying. They're probably like, why did this get out there? But I feel like they're really just gonna play on the fact that like a lot of this is just like speculation and judgment. Okay, so I really feel like this is heavy on the like news of everything he was like looking up and watching and all of that stuff. More, you know, and probably with the knife sheath as well, but I kind of want to look into that a little bit more. So more in particular, are they kind of like, I don't know, concerned about that information of him licking up another knife sheath after the murders happened? Because that's kind of suspicious. Ace of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so I just feel like it's gonna be super easy and clear for them to say like, it's Amazon. It just came up. Like, it was just an opportunity. It was just there. It was being presented to me. It wasn't something that I was actively going to get. He didn't get it. So I feel like it's just going to be easy to say like, oh, it was just given to me. That's what I'm getting with this. Like, this is, okay, this might sound silly, but this to me is like Amazon. Like, here, look at this knife sheath. And so I feel like that's kind of what they're going to say. That it was like, oh, it just popped up and it fell into the cart, right? This, because wands have to do with our actions. So maybe they could just say, oh, maybe he was just browsing, just looking. Like there's no real hard correlation that is why, at least not at this point in time. I feel like they're going to hold on to that. And I feel like they feel pretty secure in that argument because technically, like, can it really be proved otherwise? So I think they're just going to continue to do the thing that they've been doing, which is deflect, say that's not a good enough thing to hold on to. You guys are just trying to judge his character because he's weird and quirky, blah. Okay, so that's all I'm really getting there. So the next thing that I'm going to be taking a look at. Okay, this whole episode, is this going to have any effect on the trial? That is another question people are having. Like, is it going to affect the jury pool? Is it just going to affect the trial in general? Let's see. Okay, so I think that will maybe make it a little bit trickier finding a jury because we have the Two of Wands. This talks about future expansion, like what's ahead. With this being in the reverse, I think that just makes it like a little foggy, a little unclear, like, now we have to go through these other steps. This is like reflecting about something in the past, working through that. Obviously, I feel like at this point in time, this would mean like all the evidence that has just come out. The Star card in reverse represents like a lack of trust. So a lack of balance in the information. So yeah, I feel like the technicalities of it, they're probably going to be like, oh, this is tricky. I wonder if the defense is like, I don't know what this would even do, but I wonder if they're even going to try to push for like a delay or something like that. I think they're just going to try and pull whatever they can out to, you know, get in the way of this trial because, you know, that's their job. I get it. But yeah, I just feel like there's something kind of coming in the way where it's like, oh, like this is actually technically a little bit challenging on the trial. So not too sure exactly in what way. I feel like the defense may try and say like, oh, can we delay, or we might try and be a little bit picky about how they're going to approach the jury pool or something like that due to what has recently happened because there's like this lack of trust now. Is it really a lack of trust? Maybe so. Maybe it's just another means of trying to control all the things around the trial. So yeah, okay, that was like pretty quick to the point. Nothing too crazy and excitingly new there. So what I'm going to be doing next is I'm going to pull out the pendulum. We are going to be getting some more insight on the last questions I asked. We're going to be getting some more insight on new questions about the evidence, and we're going to go from there. Before we get started with the pendulum questions, I just want to show you, this is my board. Here is yes, unknown, maybe no. I will try my best to keep my pendulum right in the middle here. I can get a little shaky, but that shouldn't really matter. Okay. Before we get started, can you show me yes? Can you show me no? All right, thank you. Was there some type of online inspiration or influence that inspired Bryan Kohberger to follow through with the murders? Yes, thank you. Was part of that inspiration the Ted Bundy things he watched? Yes, thank you. Was part of the inspiration the pornography he searched with passed out or drugged women? Yes, thank you. Maybe? Why are we going to maybe? What's happening? Was that maybe just like a teeny tiny piece of the inspiration, not a huge part? Yes, okay. Was part of the inspiration just his own sick mind and fascination with murder? Let's kind of reset. Okay, so just to confirm, he went back in the morning just to see if police were there or other people were there. Okay. Thank you. I tend to hold my breath a little bit because I'm not trying to move. I don't want to accidentally, make it say one thing when it's trying to say another. So I try and be very, very still. So basically, I came to the conclusion that there was a little bit of inspiration from the Ted Bundy videos, but there is also mainly just inspiration from his own sick and twisted mind. Let's ask the one we all want to know. Is Bryan Kohberger going to get the death penalty? Yes. Alrighty. Well, okay, I feel like that concluded basically everything I was trying to find out. Nothing super new and crazy. Basically just reconfirmed my last video and got some more insight that they still feel fairly confident even with all the stuff that's come out, because a lot of it is circumstantial, a lot of it is judgment on character, and yeah, they are just going to do their best to keep on fighting, but I think the jury's going to see right through that. So I appreciate the love and support so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.